Thank you, Nathan. President Obama is wrapping up a two-day visit to Malaysia. After the pomp and ceremony of Saturday, he held bilateral talks Sunday with Malaysia's Prime Minister on economic and security issues. CCTV's Rian Maelzer is live now in Kuala Lumpur with the latest for us. Rian.
Yes, the president had a full agenda on Sunday, including a visit to the country's IT hub, this one-on-one meeting with Malaysia's Prime Minister, and also his one and only press conference during his visit to Malaysia.
US President Barack Obama's day began with what was dubbed a cultural visit to Malaysia's National Mosque before heading to Prime Minister Najib Razak's official residence for closed-door talks. During the talks, the leaders agreed to formally upgrade their country's ties to a comprehensive partnership covering economic, educational, scientific and security cooperation.
And over the past few years, we have been working to strengthen the bonds between us. Today, we see the fruits of this labor.
As expected, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade and Investment Agreement between the US, Malaysia and 10 other countries was high on the agenda. While Obama and Najib talked, protesters voiced their opposition to the deal in front of the US Embassy for the second time in 3 days.
This notion somehow that some protests here might indicate the U.S. bullying. Keep in mind, I got protests back home from my own party about TPP.
Najib addressed concerns that he would give in on issues of national interest, such as the affirmative action policies that aim to raise the economic status of the majority ethnic Malays.
We are working out around the sensitivities and challenges which I alluded to in my discussions with President Obama. He fully understands our domestic sensitivities, and we will sit down and try to iron this out.
President Obama dismissed the notion that his decision not to meet with opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim indicated a lack of concern on civil liberties in Malaysia.
There is not a meeting I have around the world where issues of freedom of the press, human rights, civil liberties aren't prominent on the agenda. And that includes my meeting with Prime Minister Najib.
Now, aside from the anti-Trans-Pacific Partnership protest, there was another larger protest later in the day close to a venue where the president was set to speak, and this was unambiguously anti-American, with the protesters holding placards, calling Obama the world's biggest terrorist, things of that sort. And looking at the faces, looking at the banners that they were holding, they appeared to be supporters of the main Islamist opposition party here.
Ryan, the president did receive some criticism for opting not to meet with the leader of Malaysia's political opposition, Anwar Ibrahim, as you reported. But were there indications that he heard concerns of the opponents of the government?
Well, during his press conference with Prime Minister Najib, he referred to Najib as a reformer, and this clearly would have upset the 50% of the electorate that voted for the opposition in the last election and who don't share that view. Now, later in the day, he attended a town hall style meeting of Southeast Asian leaders, and there he showed that he did understand some of the concerns that opponents of the government have here. He referred to how the 40% of Malaysians who are non-Muslim often feel marginalized, they feel hostility toward them, and he said Malaysia cannot truly succeed as a country until non-Muslims feel that they have equal opportunities to Muslims. So he was implying clearly that they don't enjoy those equal opportunities. Then after that, he went to a meeting with leaders of civil society groups, these are social activists, and he heard the litany of concerns that they have. Their concerns that the electoral system isn't fair, their concerns about what they see as malicious prosecutions of opposition politicians, and above all, their concerns about rising ethnic and religious tensions in the country and how they feel Najib is not doing enough to try to diffuse those. So President Obama will have got, before he left here, a clear picture of the kinds of concerns the opposition have, and also of the kinds of work that Najib has to do if he's going to live up to Obama's billing of him as a reformer.
Rian Maelzer reporting live from Kuala Lumpur.